That trial 7 years ago was the beginning of it all. This I know beyond a doubt. The mysteries of the past work their magic on the present. But you'll soon be finding all this out for yourself. Which of Magnified Grimare's disciples pulled that trigger? Where did the vanishing defendant Zach Grimare go? What dark truth lurks behind the forged diary page? And what about the girl who was left behind? Mason System Online. The past left us these 4 keys to unlocking the truth. But that's not all. There are 4 keys in the present as well. And when all the questions have found their answers, the final trial will begin. But first, you must chase the truth through then and now. Think of it as a game. I, Phoenix Wright, will be your guide through this game. That terrible trial saw me present forged evidence. It ended half-finished when the defendant vanished. What became of me after that? As your investigation proceeds, the answer will become clear. Oh, and one more thing. There is something I must tell you. As Apollo Justice has his bracelet, so too do I have my own weapon of sorts. My Magatama. What does it do, you ask? That I would have you see for yourself. Well now, shall we begin? Use L&R to jump between the past and present. But let's begin 7 years ago, in the past. It is right after my last trial came to an abrupt end. Now that you know the game, let's play. Are you ready? Yup. I know where to start. The nightmare trial was over, and the new nightmare of figuring out what had happened had just begun. I wanted to wake up, to walk away. But I figured I'm the only one who could do this, probably. And besides, I had plenty of time. Thanks to the Bar Association Review Board's decision. It's hard to work when your attorney's badge has been taken away. 7 years ago, right in co-law offices. I wonder how Maya and Mia would react.
Woo! Morning, Daddy!
I'm so glad you came.
You okay, Daddy? They picking on you?
I'm fine as always. This old boy's here to help me after all. That's young man you.
Good morning. That's a cute outfit you have on. Thanks. My first show's today after all.
2 weeks had passed since then. I called her into my office. Trucy, there's something we need to talk about. It's been 2 weeks since your father disappeared. We need to start thinking about your future. I did some calling around. This is hard to say, but you have no living relatives. So, I was wondering if you wanted to stay with me for a while. Just until your daddy comes home. It won't be long. I hope. Of course, it's totally your choice. If you don't like it here, you can go wherever you like. I could look up some places you might like to stay at. This is so weird.
Mr. Attorney, Daddy told me about you. He said I could trust you.
Huh? Really?
So if I stay here, does that mean you'll be my family?
Huh? I guess so. Getting weirder.
Mr. Attorney.
Actually, why don't you call me Nick? Or you can call me Daddy if you like. It doesn't have to be today or anything.
Okay. Say Daddy.
That was quick. Yes?
If I move here, I have to switch schools, right? And I was thinking I haven't paid for lunches at my last school for a year. So thanks, Daddy. Oh, and this office? It's a little black. A little color goes a long way, you know. Oh, and Daddy, you got fired from work, right? Don't you worry one bit. I'll work twice as hard. We'll make it through this.
Trucy, how old are you?
Oh, I'm 8. But don't let appearances deceive you. I'm a young professional. Stick with me and you'll do just fine, Daddy.
Thanks. Why does it feel like she's already in charge?
So, Daddy, you got fired from being a lawyer, right?
You could at least kind of look aside or something when you say that. It's actually kind of hard for me. For Daddy.
Oh, I'm sorry, Daddy. Wait, is that foolish pride? My other daddy always used to talk about that.
Actually, that's pretty accurate.
So here's my idea. We'll make a new office. Law just seems so stiff, doesn't it? And no one will be my friend at school that way.
Well, that won't do, I guess. I just don't know much about anything other than law. Or even much about law if you were to ask somebody.
Maybe the problem is calling it an office. We should run an agency instead.
You mean like a talent agency? Forgive me for asking, but doesn't that require talent?
You got me, don't ya? I'm a professional.
A professional?
Yep. After all, I am directly descended from the famous Zach Romare.
Directly descended? He's your father.
Oh, and now I'm directly descended from the famous Phoenix Wright, too.
I think an 8-year-old just massaged my ego. Could you tell me a bit more about your daddy, Zach Romare?
Daddy? Sure thing, Daddy.
Which daddy was that again?
Daddy's so amazing. The biggest star of Troop Romare, and they're big.
The Romares. They were on television a lot. Haven't seen them on much recently, come to think of it.
Big magic happens when you put Zach and Valiant Romare together, you know. Once they made a giant waterfall right there on the stage, and this giant trout swam up the giant waterfall.
Let me guess, there was a giant fisherman waiting for him at the top?
I wish I could have seen more of Daddy's magic.
I shouldn't have brought it up so soon.
I wonder what'll happen to me with Daddy and Mommy both gone.
Mommy?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about Mommy? I haven't heard anything about Trucy's mother.
But I have my magic, and a great daddy even if he's unemployed. You know, I think things are gonna be okay.
I wonder if she'll talk about her mother. So, Trucy, you're a professional?
Yes, it's like that thing they say. Baby frogs grow up to be frogs?
They say that?
I always thought it was funny, though.
What was?
Aren't baby frogs called tadpoles? Maybe they thought it would be easier to understand that way for kids. How stupid.
Right. So in conclusion, you're a professional magician, Trucy.
That's right. Well, want to see a trick?
You're gonna do a magic trick? Actually, I would like to see your trick. The future of the agency depends on it after all.
That's the spirit. Ready? Here goes. Ta-da!
Hey folks, it's Mr. Hat. I gotta say, it's good to be seen. Yeah! Whoa! That was startling.
The amazing Mr. Hat. Isn't he great?
Your friendly neighborhood Mr. Hat at your service. He certainly makes an impression.
Doesn't he? I'm so glad you like him, Daddy.
Though my routines do get a bit heady at times. Get it, heady? My friendly neighborhood Mr. Hat nearly gave me a heart attack. Could you tell me about your mommy, if it's okay?
Mommy was so pretty. She was like an angel up on stage.
On stage? You mean with your daddy?
Yep. She was always there with Zach and Val smiling. But then she went away.
Went away?
It was a grand illusion, but she made a mistake. She vanished, and I guess she didn't know how to get back.
Maybe so.
I cried then. A lot. That's when Daddy gave me this. Here.
It's a locket. This is your mother? She's beautiful.
Her name's Thalassa. Thalassa Romare.
Poor girl. I didn't know her mommy had gone missing. And now her daddy's vanished too. Right before her eyes.
Hey, Daddy, you won't...
Don't worry. I won't vanish. I promise.
Right. You can't even do magic. You're like a backup plan. Daddy always says to have a backup plan.
I guess all I rate as is a backup plan. I think that's probably enough for today. Sorry to ask you so much all at once like that.
It's okay. After all, we're family. I just hope you're ready. The Wright Talent Agency opens tomorrow.
What? What are we representing anyone?
Me and you. That makes 2, Daddy.
I think you need more than that to make an agency. Besides, you may be a magician, but I'm no talent.
Oh, I'm sure there's something you're good at.
Well, when you put it that way...
You mean you don't have any tricks? No old standbys? This will not do. A boy should always have a trick or 2 in his pocket.
Okay. I'll think of something.
That's the spirit. See you bright and early tomorrow, Daddy.
Welcome to the team, Daddy-o. The team. Right. Sometimes when magicians vanish, they leave something behind. That's how Trucy became Phoenix Wright, my daughter. To be honest, I was pretty lost these first few days. Thinking back on it, it was a pretty dark time in my life. But Trucy, happy, smiling Trucy, she was my light. That's it. That's 1. Time to move on to defendant lobby number 2. 7 years ago, District Court Defendant Lobby number 2. Didn't think I'd be back here for a while. I didn't want to have to remember that day. Though I deeply regret having to declare a verdict in this way, this trial is over. Ah, Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Zack? There is one thing I wish to make clear. Today, in this courtroom, you cannot declare me guilty. What are you talking about? I'm talking about this. Mr. Neckmar! The defendant escaped! Find him quick! Bailiff, close all exits from the building! On the double! He must not be allowed to escape! When I came here on that fateful morning, I still had my badge. But now, like an amputated limb, I can still feel it itching. Where do I start? I don't even have the authority to investigate. Hey, you there, sir! Down on the hands! Floor on your head! Now! What's the big idea? My ears! No unauthorized personnel aren't allowed in here! But that would mean all unauthorized personnel are allowed. Silly! I just say it like it is, sir, and it's usually wrong. Thrown out of the precinct, lost my friends, my girl, and even my wallet. We've met before, haven't we? On a case 2 years ago. No recollection of that, sir. Huh? For me, working on a case is always in the present progressive tense, sir. There is no past, there is only now, sir. Okay. You're the bailiff, right? Yes, sir. Court Bailiff Mike Meekins at your service, sir. I've asked to meet with the bailiff at this court who let the magician escape. Let me try to make this as absolutely clear as possible for you, sir. It was me, sir. But you were a regular police officer once, right? Sometimes bad things happen to good people, sir. Something tells me it's a long story. Let's not go there. So you were in charge of security at the time of the vanishing? I'm dying over here! Oh, it's a hard-knock life, sir! Thrown out of the precinct, lost my friends, my girl, and even my wallet. Guess I wasn't the only victim. The last time we met, you were a police officer, right? Check out Rise from the Ashes. In fact, you're still wearing your uniform. Sir, I wish I didn't have to tell you this, but last year, tragedy struck a rising star at the precinct. I lost my case files 4 times in 3 days. They fired me. That takes real talent, actually. They don't know what they're missing. So here I am, sir, forced to start from square one, a lowly bailiff. But your uniform, I took it with me as a souvenir the day I was fired. That can't be legal. So you are the one who let the magician get away that day. I'm dying over here! A star rises among the court bailiffs full of hope. Then tragedy strikes. Is there anything you can tell me about it? About Zach Ramirez's disappearance? Oh, the humanity! That's enough of that.
Why, yes, I'd say it's around 2 p.m. when I heard a commotion in court. I opened the door to see what might be amiss. The door slams open, slam, and some guy's face is right there in front of me. Face!
So you saw someone suspicious coming your way?
Yes, and I, being a bailiff of little standing, I gave chase. I chased that silk cat all the way down the hall, sir.
I have a diagram of the court building here.
Aha! There's courtroom number 7. That's where I was, sir. All by myself. Nary a friend to call my own.
Okay, and which way did Zach Romero run after bursting through the courtroom door?
He went up like this, and around the corner like that. So I, with no delay, ran after him with no delay. When I turned the corner, I saw that magic man run into the defendant lobby. Swiftly I ran. Following him, I threw myself boldly into the room. Why, I remember it like it was right here, because it was. Lobby number 2, sir.
You ran into this room? I don't see any place to hide in here.
Believe it or not, sir, I didn't believe it. Here, in this room, the magician, gone, vanished like a puff of smoke. Except there wasn't even any smoke. He was just gone.
That's impossible.
Yes, that word! Oh, how many times have I said that word? Even the sound of it causes me indescribable pain. I'm dying. I'm dying over here!
Okay, I won't say it again, promise. But you have to admit, it's difficult to vanish into thin air. Did you search the lobby?
I searched.
Why the pause?
There was nothing here at all, sir. That's right, nothing was here, sir.
How can he talk so loud and still be hiding something? So Zach was in this room when he vanished?
Absolutely, sir. I saw with my own eyes. That red silk hat, that flowing cape, he ran right in here, right inside this room.
Silk hat, cape, that's Zach, all right.
But, sir, look at the room. There's not a single place to hide. Sir, there was nothing I could do but nothing, sir.
What about now? Have any ideas?
Sir? Ideas on what exactly, sir, if you don't mind me asking?
You've had quite a bit of time since then. Has nothing occurred to you at all? Do you have any idea what trick he might have used to disappear like that? Cyclops! I should have known. My Magatama, one of my most prized possessions which I got during a certain case in Justice for All, it can show me the locks on people's hearts. And if I can unlock their hearts, they'll tell me their secrets. The Magatama starts it all, and the Magatama ends it. Here we go! The disappearing trick. Okay, Mr. Meekins, what do you know? Spit it out.
Hey! What's with the atmosphere in here all of a sudden?
You know something, and I'm gonna find out what. Zach Romero vanished from this room. How'd he do it?
How, sir? Well, sir, I can't say as I, sir.
Why are you so nervous if you aren't hiding something?
Well, sir, you see, at the time, sir, I was here and, listen, it was impossible. What could such a little girl possibly do anyway?
What did you just say?
Yeah, sir, did I just say something, sir?
No, you screamed it through the megaphone of yours. There was someone else in the room, wasn't there?
Sir, I'm gonna have to invoke my right to remain in the state of not talking.
It's okay, Meekins. You don't have to tell me who Zach's accomplice was. I know who was here in this room that day. Trucy Enigma.
Sir! I've never seen that girl until just the other day.
Mr. Meekins, I'm not buying it.
Sir, that day, she was here, in the room, sir, but he wasn't.
You mean, you chased her into this room, not him?
Sir, in my days as a police officer, literally days, I learned a thing or two. Okay, just one thing, but it wasn't how not to mistake a girl for a 7-foot-tall magician.
7 feet? Zach isn't that tall, is he? You have a point. I find it hard to imagine that anyone would mistake a little girl for Zach Romero. When you saw something, and therein lies the trick. I think you know what it was, Mr. Meekins. Tell me, does this trick look familiar? That girl's favorite trick, the amazing Mr. Hat. She uses it in her show down at the Wonder Bar. Have you been to the Wonder Bar?
So, it wasn't a waking dream, was it, sir?
Come again?
That night on stage, I saw a vision, except it wasn't a vision. It was a hat. An amazing Mr. Hat! He really exists!
Sorry for all the. Yeah, that was a bit too much. Even for me.
I remember it clearly, though the details are a little vague. Zach Romero exited the courtroom. I gave chase and quartered him in the corner room, sir. Zach Romero! Don't even think you would escape, Meekins! Down your hands! Forward your head! Hello?
Something the matter, mister?
No, that is... Sir, I'm currently chasing a suspect, sir. Zach Romero, do you know him?
Oh, I love Zach Romero. His magic's the best. I'm his biggest fan.
I see. That's why you're wearing that costume you're wearing. Anyway, that very same Zach came into this room.
But no one's been in here except me.
But he has to be in here somewhere. Under the sofa, in the trash can, behind the painting, under the rug.
So, Trucy was his accomplice.
Imagine my astonished surprise when 1 week later, I just happened to walk into a bar and see him.
Mr. Hat.
I couldn't believe my own eyes. For a while, I thought it all been a long dream.
A dream that lasted a week.
But it wasn't the magician who disappeared. It was Mr. Hat.
Though it seems complex, what really happened that day was quite simple. You were standing by the door and out came Zach. But that wasn't all. Another person got in on the act, and she was standing in front of lobby number 2. Along with Mr. Hat.
Ah, and that's the beauty of it, isn't it?
So, while you are standing in shock and amazement, the magician rounds the corner and most likely runs through the closest door into lobby number 1. This is where you come in. You turn the corner in rather lukewarm pursuit, and at that very moment, Trucy runs into lobby number 2, and all she has to do is tuck away the amazing Mr. Hat.
Sir, I only lost sight of him for the briefest of moments. Then I saw that cape, Zach Romero's red cape fluttering like a cape. Astounding, sir! All my days of posing queries and making inquiries and chasing quarries. Wasted! It was as if I could see them melting away like an ice cream cone left by the side of the road to die. Or the scattered remains of a Nestle-eaten chocolate parfait.
Such sweet sorrows. I'm sorry. I had no idea how much you suffered on account of this case.
It's an honor, sir. I have apologized to people many, many times. Sometimes more than once. But this is the first time anyone's ever apologized to me.
Actually, about that girl. I'm sort of her guardian now.
Is that so? Sir, you should know that I harbor no ill feelings whatsoever in my harbor.
Okay.
I let the defendant escape. That's the stone cold truth. Just another step on my way from singing the blues to wearing the blues. Someday, sir, I'll be standing side by side with the great Detective Gumshoe!
Mr. Meekins, this is a free ticket to the show at the Wonder Bar. If you want, It's
an honor, sir. Sir, I can't count the number of things I've had taken from me, sir. But no one's ever given me anything for free. Right. I'll see you in court next time then, sir.
I look forward to it. All eyes were on Zach Romero that day in court, until his mysterious disappearance. Now part of the mystery's been revealed, but the magician remained out of sight. It would be 7 years before I met him again. That's another one done. To the present. Some keys have been unlocked. First is the Borscht Bowl Club. Present day, Borscht Bowl Club. I'll be taking my leave now. Still have some work to do back at the office. Then I guess I'll go back to my piano. To be honest, it's better when you're on playing. This frigid culinary dungeon almost feels comfortable. Later then. 2 hours left on my shift. Wonder if we'll get any customers tonight. Ahem. Do you know who I am? Who I am? No, but if you hum it, I can play it. Just kidding, I don't do requests. How about a different sort of request? You see, I play cards. Oh, a customer. I was just hoping someone would come in and save me from a night at the Keys. I seek a true competition. I've heard the Borscht Bowl Club is the place for this. Now I see the rumor is true. And this is a friend of yours?
Ah, don't mind me. I'm just your friendly neighborhood newsman.
Ah, he will not be playing tonight. When his business is finished, I shall send him home. This competition will be between us, no others. The Wright Talent Agency represents 2 artists, and I'm number 2. I play piano. Well, sort of. It's actually just a front from my real talent, which is playing poker. Don't ask me how I got started. I don't remember. But I'm good. Real good. It didn't take long for the rumors to get around. Go to the Borscht Bowl Club if you want a real game. That guy's never lost. People don't come to hear me tickle the ivory. They come to watch me play cards. Is this a seedy poker club? No, it's a restaurant. We don't play for high stakes. There's no money involved. But real players carry cash, and they're always thirsty. It's a handy source of income for the club owner. Then let's compete. I'll take you to the room. The hideout, yes? But before we go, yes? Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Shoddy Smith.
Oh, and I'm Russell, Spark Russell, news reporter.
Oh, No, Phoenix Wright. Huh? You must always look a man in the eye when you make your introductions. You still do not know who I am? Have we met? Ah! Today, in this courtroom, you cannot declare me guilty.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about this.
Mr. Enigma! The defendants escaped! Find them, quick! Bailiff, pulls all exits from the building! On the double! He must not be allowed to escape!
You can't be!
But you're Sacramere!
Yes, the reincarnation act of the century. Pity I have only an audience of 1. You. Sacramere. This must be a bad dream. In a sense, this guy ruined my life. You there.
Da?
We will play soon. Ready the room.
Da. I will be preparing the hideout for you.
I suck at doing female voices. Are you really him? The Sacramere? Now I am Shoddy Smith. Remember this. How many years has it been now? 6? In exactly 3 days from now, it'll be 7. I caused you much inconvenience, I fear. Yeah, you could say that. Is she well? Trucy, I mean? She's fine. I've got her working already. Hope you don't mind. I need hardly express my gratitude. But you have it. This is why I've come. That and to settle a matter of cards. By which you mean poker. Those eyes. He's serious. I despise losing above all else. And so I have decided that I will win tonight. No matter what it takes. I know this guy's type. And they're dangerous. Everything's about the competition. All else is secondary. Perhaps we should take the time to talk before we play. I know you have much to ask me. And I you. We competed that day 7 years ago, too. Ah, yes. You must have been surprised. Called to the detention center out of the blue. 2. 1. Showdown time. I lost. It's only a game of poker. A game I've played for a long time and only lost twice. Who was the first? The man I killed, of course. You chose your defense attorneys by playing poker? Some are hired, others fired. When you compete, you see a man's true nature. You know what I speak of. I know that you do. Trucy's power. Trucy? She's in a class of her own. For 7 years, I've played poker here at the Borscht Bowl Club, and I've never lost once. I'm good, but not that good. I win because whenever there's a big game, I bring in Trucy. And she sends me signals.
Daddy, he's got a good hand. You might have a chance if you act quick. Better call him soon.
Can you tell me what her power is? Judging a person's thoughts by reading their reactions is a staple of performance magic, but those of Trucy's line possess far greater skill. Her line? Recall you were the second man to whom I've lost. Magnify Grammaire. That was the first time I learned of this power, as you call it. Wait, so you're saying her power is genetic? It's just in the Grammaire blood or something? Blood. I'm sorry, but it is something not told lightly to outsiders. And it is nothing you need to know at this time. It's some kind of Grammaire secret then. Fine. She's 15 this year. She's still trying her best to follow in your footsteps, you know. I see. When I planned my disappearing act, it was the thought of her alone that gave me pause. Wait, you were planning on vanishing from the get-go? Yes, and for that I must apologize. However, I could not be found guilty that day because of this. This. A transferal of rights. You see the signature? A transferal. That's Magnify Grammaire's signature, isn't it? I hereby give all rights to the secret staging and performance of my magic to the recipient named below, and the recipient's name is you, Zach Grammaire. Yes, it is I. Wait, this page looks torn. You recall the diary, yes? First, take a close look at this diary. Note that a page has clearly been ripped out. As it just so happens, I have here what I believe to be the missing page. Wait! Let me see that! How could I forget? That scrap of paper lost me my attorney's badge. This is the real page that was torn from the book. Magnify gave it to me that night. You could have told me this earlier, like 7 years earlier. Once again, I must apologize. It was all I could do to prepare for my escape from that courtroom. The greatest of Magnify Grammaire's illusions are true art. As such, they are well protected by this document. Only its bearer may perform his illusions on stage. Sounds like a pretty important thing to have if you're his disciple. As the rightful heir to his art, I too wanted a rightful heir. Rightful? I'm sure you know who I chose as my successor. Your daughter. That is why I have risked all to come here tonight. Brushel?
Sir. Ah, here you go.
What's this? A letter passing the rights I have inherited to Trucy. I would have you sign here as a witness. But I'm not a lawyer anymore, and you need a public notary besides.
I may not look it, but I'm a certified notary.
You are?
By day, I wear a notary's glasses and hunt for news. Also, by day, I wear a reporter's glasses and notarize. When I take off the glasses, I can't see very well.
Your signature, please. This is the first reason I have come here tonight. Ah, I finally figured it out. Now I know why you've come out of hiding only now. It's been 7 years, you said. Precisely. There's a law that covers your situation. After 7 years, missing persons are considered to be legally deceased. So if someone was to vanish from the face of the earth 7 years ago, they would lose all rights as a living person after 7 years from that day. Not to mention all their possessions. Exactly. Which is why I am here. I risk showing my face in public for the sake of this document, before my 7 years are up. You might say, I am securing my daughter's inheritance. But do you really need this document? Wouldn't Chusi inherit your estate automatically? Not in this case, I'm afraid. This case? Yes, I received the performance rights from Magnify Grammaire. However, this was done in secret without witnesses. Before Magnify died, 2 potential successors to his repertoire were named. Myself, Zach Grammaire, and Valiant Grammaire. Not Chusi. I see. So you do need this document. I have known Brushel since before I vanished. He is a man I trust. Now only 3 know of my rebirth. I took the liberty of looking into Chusi's background and found you had no other close gang. It is as you said. Okay. I was kind of hoping he'd say something about the mother at this point. I know everyone else, but Chusi's mother is a mystery. This person in the photo is Chusi's mother? How did you come by this? Chusi showed it to me. She said her mother was gone. Then, it is so. Huh? She's gone. What more is there to say? Lots?
I know.
Whoa, you're still here?
According to my in-depth research, Chusi's mother Magnify Grammaire's only daughter. End quote.
What? Magnify's daughter? Is that true, Mr. Zach? Brushel! You say too much.
What? Why am I the bad guy? Why?
Zach decked him. In any case, Mr. Wright, this discussion is over. The loss of Grammaire. She's the most mysterious of the whole lot. I need to gather me some more evidence, clearly. Well, the prelude may have been longer than the main attraction. Shall we begin our game? My final competition? Final? Why? As you said, I have come out of hiding today to make this document legally binding. Once that is done, I shall slip once more on the ground. Without seeing your daughter? It would be best if I did not. 7 years ago, we played. 7 years ago, I lost. I already lost to Magnify. I do not care to lose to another. And I have heard that you never lose. It's just a rumor. Yes, for it is impossible to never lose unless one has an ace up one's sleeve. As a magician, it causes me no end of irritation to think a mere lawyer might be out there pulling the wool over so many eyes. Hey, I just signed your document for you. Maybe you could try lightening up. That was that. This is this. For my final competition, I will destroy your perfect record, Phoenix Wright. This will be my final performance. You are warned. This guy is beyond serious. So much for a fun evening of cards. Brushel, you may leave.
But it's your last game. I mean, what a scoop.
I punch and I punch, but still, it is not enough.
I just remembered a future prior engagement. Toodles, gentlemen. Oh, and nice meeting you, Piano Man.
Then let us begin. Dealer!
Da?
You will be witness to our competition.
Da, it is honor for me.
Why haven't I seen her around here before? That reminds me. I saw a familiar face as I entered this restaurant. He did not seem to notice me, however. Gavin, I believe was his name. You know him? After a fashion. Listen, Phoenix Wright. One can learn much from a true competition. Remember this. The Grammaire power. I was close to understanding it, but I needed more. And I knew where to get it. Chusi's mother. I need to meet that reporter again. That was clear. And one other thing. From the moment my final competition with Zach began that night, a name was running through my head. The name of a man now in prison. A name Zach Grammaire knew. But how? And why? That's only half done. Half done, which means this is like multiple parts. Now we reach Solitary Cell 13. Present day, Central Prison, Solitary Cell 13. Well, isn't this an unexpected surprise? What errand brings you down to my cramped confines? Gavin. Is this your idea of revenge, Phoenix Wright? Revenge for the events that took away your attorney's badge 7 years ago? My past is like my logic, straight and true. Nothing's changed. All I did was point the finger of justice in the proper direction. Fine. I'm glad we could have this little tete-a-tete, right? You look well, Phoenix Wright. You too, Gavin. Life has been full of surprises for both of us. I have no doubt you never expected to lose that attorney's badge of yours, and I'll bet you never expected to wind up here. Shoddy Smith was the name of the man you killed. Did you know who he really was? Who he was? Zach Romero, you know, the defendant. I'd remember him, of course. But you say Smith was Zach? Impossible. Don't even try to tell me it was a coincidence. What did I just say? Life is full of surprises, don't you think? After that trial, you were arrested and found guilty, but your motive was never made clear. A mistake I plan to remedy. You're not an attorney anymore, Phoenix Wright. What possible conclusion do you think this investigation of yours can lead to? I killed a man named Smith with a bottle because I am an evil human being. Isn't that enough? Not for me, it isn't. I need to know why you did it, Gavin. You recall that case 7 years ago? Ah, yes. The trial where Zach Romero pulled his famous vanishing act. My brother won his fair share of praise and adoration for that trial, as I recall. Genius prosecutor reveals crooked attorney, was it? That was when I met you, wasn't it? Was it now? The Bar Association Review Board voted unanimously for the strictest punishment. Unanimous, save for one dissenting opinion. Yours. It was my brother who was responsible for putting you in that position, after all. For 7 years we've been friends, and yet I still don't understand you. But right, your friendship toward me was never pure. You suspected me then, as you still do now, don't you? Honestly, right now, I'm not sure what I think. You didn't just brain a guy with a juice bottle for no reason. Tell me why you did it. Persistent, aren't you? I came here because I remembered something. The night of our game, Zach Romero mentioned your name, Gavin. Ah, that reminds me. I saw familiar faces as I entered this restaurant. He did not seem to notice me, however. Gavin, I believe that was his name. After that, he was killed, and I asked you to help me. Because I remembered your kindness back when everyone had turned on me. I seem to be in a bit of trouble. Something like that. Dead. Someone hit him. Hard. Me? Please, the cops should be here any minute. I'm in your hands, should it come to that. I have to know. Why did you kill Shoddy Smith? No! Zach Romero! And that's when we see these. Whoa! I've never seen psych locks like these. Dark, cold, full of despair. Can I even unlock these things? Here's the thing, Phoenix Wright. You can't! And there's a good reason. Something wrong, right? No, it's nothing. You shouldn't push yourself so hard. Life is to be taken easy, you know? He's doing his nails. Yep, there it is, the black psych lock. Yeah, Phoenix Wright can break red, but not black. Let's just say that if he did, it would have caused serious psychological damage. No joke. You're thinking, what self-respecting man would use nail polish? Not really. I know appearances are a big thing with you. You know what I say. One cannot live a beautiful life without beautiful nails. First-rate in all things, except nothing less. That certainly does look like first-rate nail polish. I like the sparkly bottle. It's crystal. If you're so drawn to it, please, have one. It's on me. Thank you, Mr. Gavin. But you're still a dunce. Or as I would say, still a dick. There's not much I can do here. I end the inquiry now. I will be back. That I promise. Unfortunately, let's just say that if I were to continue, I would pass the hour mark. Because, yeah, there is a lot. And I do mean a lot. And if I... You know what? Screw it. We're doing it anyway. I just want to complete one more set, and this one's going to be a long one. Drew Studio. 7 years ago, Drew Studio. I figured you'd come here sooner or later. I decided on sooner. Drew Misham, was it? I haven't done anything illegal, and I didn't come here to whine about past events. I wanted to ask you some questions. I suppose you have that right. That day, the entire court descended into chaos. Only you stood still, your eyes calmly watching. I admit, it made quite an impression on me. I'm used to finding myself in outrageous situations. Phoenix Wright, was it? I'll answer what I can. I'm not sure, but it feels like I'm being watched. Intensely. Ah, this is my daughter. Vera, say hello. She's gone. Shall we begin then? Judging from this place, you're a painter? Not, sadly, a profitable one. I've never sold a painting. It's a source of considerable embarrassment. I would be able to get by were it only me. Your daughter? Her mother grew weary of me and left. I don't want her to grow up needy, Mr. Wright. That is why I began my other occupation. Forgeries! Don't look at me with those eyes. I know what it is that I do. More than half of the paintings they bring me are stolen. And who knows what my copies are used for. But some of your works aren't paintings, correct? You may not believe me when I tell you this, but that was my first work outside of painting. What? To think it would be used as evidence in a murder trial. I never even imagined the possibility. Then why did you take the job? I was well paid. Very well paid. I think he feels worse about it than I do. The past is hard to escape. Honestly, the sooner I can put this behind me, the better. With apologies to you, of course. Sorry, but it's not going to be quite so easy. He's trying to forget what he made. Looks like I'll have to remind him. I know. There is only one thing I need to present to prove that point. You screwed with us, man! Your work? Don't try to pretend you've forgotten. Sure, all you did was make a copy. But that copy might have destroyed the life of an innocent man. I'm responsible too, which is why I have to know. And you have to tell me. I knew it would be difficult to escape this. Then, let's talk. Well then, ready to tell me about this work you did? It was unlike anything I had attempted before. I guess it would be a little different from paintings. That is not what I mean. In all my previous work, it sufficed to create a copy. This wasn't a copy? The client gave me two things that day. The first was a sample page as reference. The second, a printed document I can only surmise was written by my client. So you used the real writing as a reference to reproduce what the client wrote? Yes, as I said, it was my first job of that nature. So, who was your client? As I said in court, I do not know. Really? Even for such a suspicious request? If it was me, I want to know as much as I could about the requester. I've never met them. Not personally, Ah, a Cyclock, of course. It seems like you're still hiding something. Something about this work. What are you trying to hide, Drew Misham? The sooner you talk, the better. Let's hear it then. What are you hiding from me, Mr. Misham? I'm sorry, but I really don't know. I've never met the client. True, when I asked the client's name, there were no Cyclocks in sight. Regardless, you're hiding something. You have to be, otherwise it wouldn't make any sense. Why are you doing this to me? Well, I've made my stand. No backing down now. So, what's Misham hiding? The forger. I can pretty much piece together what it is from what you said. What is it then? You told me what you knew about the client, and I couldn't see any Cyclocks. Psycholocks? Is that some sort of asylum security? Or a new hairstyle, perhaps? But then they did show up, didn't they? Who was your client? As I said in court, I do not know. Really? Even for such a suspicious request? If it was me, I want to know as much as I could about the requester. I've never met them. Not personally, Not personally. Those words triggered the Cyclock. Again with these things. Now I really must know what they are. So you didn't meet with the client, but someone else did. Maybe the real forger behind this evidence? Perhaps I'm hung up on this lock business, but I'm afraid you've lost me. Yeah, well, I didn't come here to talk about Cyclocks. As long as I come to the right conclusion, it doesn't matter how I got there. And your conclusion is, the real forger behind this wasn't you, Mr. Misham. Poppycock! I don't know what you're talking about. That's my work, I tell you. Made here in my studio. Who else could it have been but me? That's the real question, isn't it? If the forger wasn't you, then I don't have many other people to choose from. The real forger in Drew's studio, it wasn't you. It was your kid, Vera Misham. The real forger is your daughter, Vera Misham, isn't it? Ridiculous! My daughter's only 12 years old, Mr. Wright. I've always been more one for landscapes, not surrealism. Nice comeback, but you're shaking in your boots. I've got you now. The only two people with access to the studio are you and your daughter. The Cyclocks tell me you're not the forger, which makes your daughter the only possibility. I feel very much on the verge of going psycho myself. So it wasn't Drew. It was Vera. I knew it. I don't know how you knew, but you're right. The one who made this page was my daughter, Vera, not I. She's only 12, a genius you might call her. A precocious little girl outshining her father. There's been a lot of that going around recently. I let her play in the studio and she watched me. She taught herself in that way. The drafting tools and analytical devices I bought when they became necessary. They're my little girl's playthings now. Ah, do I detect a bit of fatherly pride? So Vera was the one who made this page? Wouldn't she know who the client was then? Actually, the client came once, here to the studio. What? Why didn't you say so sooner? But their face was covered and they did not want to talk to me. So, they talked to your daughter? I will speak only with the artist, the client told me. Then that little girl is the key to our mystery client's true identity. Okay, what do I do now? Maybe I should talk to her father a bit more. Or is it time to turn my attention to Vera? Mr. Misham, I have a request. Let me guess, you'd like to speak with my daughter. Can I? My daughter has never been one to talk to strangers. She's quite shy, extremely so actually, with only one exception, which was, oddly enough, it was that client. I left the studio while they talked. I returned when they had finished, and she was laughing. It was the first time I'd seen anything of the sort. Please, let me speak with her. All right. Uh-oh, this could be tough. This is gonna be very, very tough indeed. But let me investigate a little bit first. Maybe I'll just slittle on over here for a closer look. This thing. That's an awfully small frame. What's that inside it? A stamp? Ah, please don't touch that. I'll get in trouble. That stamp belongs to Vera, you see. She always puts it somewhere she can see it. That's Zack and Valen, the Grimaires, isn't it? The post office issued that commemorative stamp last year, when the Grimaires were at the height of their popularity. Not anymore, now that one of them has vanished off the face of the earth. Vera went to see one of their shows when she was quite small. She's been a dedicated fan ever since. She watched them every time they came on TV, until the end. I see. That stamp's quite hard to come by, I hear. I still wonder how she got her hands on it. I see. I'd rather not want to know about that. Now, let's talk. But first, let's talk about this. And then there's this.
My stamp.
Hey, she spoke. She can talk. Yeah, so this stamp. How can I keep her talking? Isn't Troop Grimaire amazing?
Ah.
Yes. Yes?
Oh.
I especially like those two, Zack and Valen. I mean, they're just so magical.
Aren't they? Aren't they?
Yeah, whenever I go to one of their shows, I'm like, whoa, magic, you know?
Me too. Me too. I love them. They're so cool.
It's like
magic. Yeah.
All right, she's talking. Not saying much, but it's a start.
I went and saw them with Father the other day. The opening ceremony at the Grimaire Museum of Magic.
The Grimaire Museum? They have one of those? I guess it makes sense now that they have their own commemorative stamp. So, have you been to one of their shows?
Just once when I was little, with Father.
The Grimaire's on stage.
It was like a dream. Disappearing, reappearing, cutting apart, putting back together. They do it all.
Yeah. Maybe you can keep telling me stuff like this. You know, about Zack and Valen, maybe?
Oh, sure.
All right. Better get asking before she changes her mind.
Don't go outside much. I like to paint in here.
Why don't you like the outside?
There's bad people out there.
Well, true, but there are lots of good people, too. Actually, I should tell you. She was almost kidnapped once. Kidnapped? Since then, she's been, well, you can see for yourself. She refuses to leave the house. I see. Wait, but that doesn't make sense. See, she said she went to the Grimaire Museum. With you, in fact. Ah, yes, actually, she was quite insistent on it, much to my surprise. That was the first and last time she expressed such a desire to me.
That person gave me a good luck charm.
A good luck charm?
For when I absolutely had to go outside.
Yes, apparently she received something. A gift. From that client, actually. She won't tell me what it was.
Father, I told you to keep that a secret.
From that client, huh? This I have to hear about. So, your father tells me you're good at painting all sorts of things?
I really like painting. A lot. Father's always very happy when I paint them exactly the same.
So, you did this too?
Oh yes, that was my first job.
Your first?
All I used to do was paint the same thing I saw. But this was totally different. The pen slips in the way the writer held the pen and the pressure on the nib. I had to use a microscope and analyze it on the computer.
She seems happy. Odd. Her work was the last nail in the Grimaire coffin. I guess no one told her. They're the best in the world.
Huh?
Oh, you mean Troop Grimaire? Of course.
Father gave it to me.
Your father?
But
I asked him about it. He didn't know how you got it.
I guess I just took it. Yeah.
Took it?
Father got a letter from that person.
That person? You mean that letter was from the client?
Oh, we talked about the Grimaires forever that day. I'm sure that's why I was sent that stamp. I didn't want to just send it back, so I took it.
They're a sneaky one, this client, so they were trying to get on her good side. Okay then, we got the commemorative stamp updated. So, you met the person that asked you to do this job, and you talked with them? What's this about a good luck charm you received?
I can't talk about it.
Eh?
If I do, it won't work anymore. That's what I was told.
Yeah, but I really have to know. Cyclops! Right. Time to do some psych unlocking. The client. You seem to trust this client. Quite a lot, in fact. Because they gave you the stamp.
No, that's not why. They listened to me, to my problem.
The problem that keeps her inside all this time.
Don't go outside if you don't want to. That's what they told me. But when I absolutely have to go out, all I have to do is use a good luck charm.
A good luck charm? That's your client gave you? I think I know what your client might have given you, actually. Is this your good luck charm by any chance? This was what they gave you, wasn't it?
Ah!
The same bottle's over there on your desk. Your good luck charm, right?
I heard once, cosmetics were once thought to ward off evil. This is a magic bottle. It has the power.
Ah, of course it does. I'll just refrain from commenting any more on that one. I think I know who gave you that bottle, actually. The one who asked you to do this job. Was this the client? Who else would it be? Christoph Gavin. This man is a friend of mine. Know him? His name is Christoph Gavin. He's a lawyer, actually.
I promised. I promised not to tell.
Sorry, Vera, but this has to be done. Forgive us. Please tell us.
I'm sorry. I can't talk about the client. I promised. And if I break my promise, the spell won't work.
I don't need a name anymore. I've got my answer. You're pretty confident in this charm, then.
I think they might be the devil.
Huh?
Or maybe an angel.
What do you mean?
I saw it, or I think I saw it, when they gave me this. I saw the devil's face.
Are you saying the client's face looked like the devil's?
No, the client was gentle, with a gentle smile.
So where'd you see this devil, then?
It was so quick, I don't remember well. But that's when I knew that person wasn't like other people. That's why I believe in my good luck charm.
I'm not sure what this devil she saw was, but it's pretty clear that Christoph Gavin has her charmed. Well, I think that's all. I'll be leaving now. I am sorry for what happened. If you want to apologize, try my client Zach Romero.
Did I do something bad?
What makes you think that?
Your eyes, they're sad. Very sad.
I'll put on my smile next time I come. Promise. I hope to see you smile then too, Vera.
Oh, okay.
Take care. Thinking back on my first encounter with the young forger, I witnessed something of vital importance that day. Of course, by the time I realized it, it was already too late. Yeah, Vera Misham's in intensive care. That's 3 down. Next up, I think that'll do it for now. Sorry, but I'm ending it here. Next time we will continue this in the second part. Yeah, the Mason system split into 2 parts, because I figured it would be easier that way. As always, if you enjoy it, please be sure to hit the like button. It means a lot. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and click the bell. I will see you then. This is MegamanNG signing off. Peace out. Product provided by CAPCOM.